In the vast expanse of the galaxy, the Galactic Council had always been a powerful force. For centuries, it ruled with authority, bringing together different species under a single banner of peace and prosperity. The Council's decisions shaped the fate of entire civilizations, and their word was law. The most advanced races in the galaxy stood united under its command. But Earth, a young and relatively new member, had always struggled to gain respect. Humanity had fought hard to join the Council, enduring ridicule and doubt from other species. They were seen as a primitive race, barely understanding the complex nature of galactic politics. But Earth had something that no other species could deny: resilience. The humans were quick learners, and, when given a chance, they adapted rapidly. They had shown their worth by contributing advanced technology, helping in countless missions, and even acting as diplomats during tense moments in galactic history. Slowly but surely, Earth earned its place, and for a while, it seemed like humanity would finally become an equal among the stars. However, there was one thing that Earth could never achieve: true protection. The Council, for all its grandeur, was not a perfect institution. It was made up of species who, despite their advancements, had their own motives and desires. Earth's growing importance made some of these species nervous, and so they quietly sought to keep humanity from becoming too powerful. The betrayal began on a day that seemed like any other. A massive, threatening fleet of alien ships arrived at the edge of Earth's territory. They were the Zyraxians, an aggressive and brutal race known for their ruthless conquests. With their fleet poised to invade, Earth turned to the Galactic Council for help. They had always been promised protection from such threats, and now was the time to deliver. But the response from the Council was not what Earth expected. Instead of sending ships to defend Earth, they issued a cold, diplomatic refusal. The Council, they said, would not get involved in this conflict. Earth, they told them, must handle it on their own. The message came like a slap in the face. The Council's leaders, after much discussion behind closed doors, had decided that the Zyraxian threat was not important enough to warrant intervention. Earth was on its own. For the first time in human history, the people of Earth were abandoned by those they had trusted. The realization hit hard. The betrayal stung deeper than any enemy could have. The Galactic Council, the very institution that humanity had worked so hard to join, had chosen to leave them vulnerable. But humanity's reaction was not one of despair. No, Earth had something the Council underestimated: the will to survive. And Earth's leaders were not about to let their planet fall into chaos without a fight. Dr. Elena Ryder, one of Earth's leading scientists, knew the truth. The Council's betrayal was not just a decision, it was a turning point, a chance for humanity to show the galaxy what they were truly capable of. Dr. Ryder had spent years working in secret on a project that could change the course of human history. Her team, made up of the best engineers, soldiers, and thinkers, had developed a new kind of weapon, a weapon that was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It was a living ship, an intelligent vessel that combined humanity's greatest technological achievements with the power of Earth's biology. The ship, codenamed Vanguard, was designed to be more than just a weapon. It was a symbol of human resilience, a declaration that Earth would no longer be treated as weak and helpless. The Vanguard was not just a ship. It was alive, created with advanced bioengineering, using a combination of human ingenuity and alien genetics. Its purpose was simple: to fight back, not just against the Zyraxians, but against any force that threatened Earth. The ship's technology was unlike anything seen before. It could adapt to battle conditions, analyze enemy movements, and even grow stronger with each battle. The Vanguard was humanity's answer to the galaxy's oppression. But Dr. Ryder and her team knew they couldn't just rely on a ship to win this fight. They needed a strategy, a way to unite the scattered resistance forces and take the fight directly to the heart of the Galactic Council. They could no longer trust the old institutions. It was time for Earth to forge its own path. The Council had betrayed them, and now they would see the consequences. As Vanguard powered up for its first mission, Earth's military forces began to mobilize. Dr. Ryder stood at the helm of the operation, ready to take command. She wasn't just fighting for Earth's survival, she was fighting for humanity's place in the galaxy. The Vanguard would be the key to turning the tide. It would be humanity's weapon of hope. But there was one thing Dr. Ryder couldn't predict: how the rest of the galaxy would react. Would the other species, some of whom had been allies of Earth, come to their aid? Or would they choose to stand with the Galactic Council, siding with the very institution that had betrayed them? As the first wave of the Xeraxian fleet approached Earth's atmosphere, the question loomed large. The Vanguard was ready, but humanity's true battle had only just begun. Earth was about to show the galaxy that they had underestimated the spirit of humanity, and they would forever regret it. This first part sets the stage for the betrayal, introduces key elements of the story, and shows the spark of humanity's response to the challenge. The narrative will keep the reader interested with a clear, simple plot progression while building tension around the conflict. Let me know if you need anything else. The vast darkness of space stretched endlessly, yet for Earth this was no longer the quiet void it had once been. The Xeraxian fleet, massive and merciless, was nearing the planet. Their ships were sleek, deadly, and designed for one purpose: conquest. Earth had always been seen as a small, vulnerable world on the edge of the galaxy, but now it was a beacon of defiance. Dr. Elena Ryder stood on the bridge of the Vanguard, her eyes fixed on the planet below. Her heart raced as the countdown to launch ticked down. The ship beneath her feet hummed with life, its advanced systems working together in perfect harmony. It wasn't just a machine. It was a partner. Vanguard was more than just technology. It was an extension of humanity's will to survive, and today it would prove that Earth was not to be underestimated. As the Vanguard rose from Earth's surface, its engines ignited with a powerful flare of blue light. The ship was alive in ways no one had ever seen before. Its organic design, combined with cutting-edge human technology, allowed it to move with a fluid grace that made it unlike any warship in existence. The Vanguard was humanity's statement to the galaxy. We will not be ignored. We will not be weak. The Xeraxian fleet, still in orbit, had no idea what was coming. They had received word of Earth's new weapon, but they had written it off as a bluff. How could a single ship, no matter how advanced, stand against their armada? Their arrogance blinded them to the truth. They had underestimated humanity's resolve. Dr. Ryder's voice echoed through the ship's command center. All systems online. Target the lead ship of the Xeraxian fleet. Full power to forward shields and weapons. Her team responded quickly, their focus unwavering. The Vanguard was more than just a ship. It was a living organism, able to learn and adapt in real time. The ship's AI, which was integrated with the biological elements of the vessel, communicated with the crew, offering them strategic insights and even predicting the Xeraxian fleet's movements. This symbiotic relationship between human intelligence and the ship's organic systems made the Vanguard a powerful force. The Xeraxians had no chance. As the Vanguard closed in on their fleet, it unleashed a devastating wave of energy. The weapon was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Bioenergy beams that could slice through the thickest armor like a hot knife through butter. The Xeraxian ships, caught off guard, exploded in brilliant flashes of light. Chaos erupted within their ranks as they scrambled to retaliate, but it was too late. "We've breached their front line," one of Dr. Ryder's officers reported, his voice filled with awe. "The rest of the fleet is in disarray. They're falling back." Dr. Ryder's gaze remained steely. She had expected a fight, but not this easy. Earth's new weapon was powerful, far more than they could have imagined. As the Vanguard tore through the enemy's defenses, she knew that this was just the beginning. The Xeraxian fleet had underestimated humanity's strength, but now they were paying the price. Yet, as the battle unfolded, Dr. Ryder couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The Vanguard had been designed to fight, to protect, and to strike back with all of humanity's might. But why had the Xeraxians launched an attack in the first place? What had caused them to target Earth so ruthlessly? Dr. Ryder couldn't help but wonder if there was more to this conflict than met the eye. Keep pushing forward, she ordered, shaking off her doubts. We can't let them regroup. Earth's survival depends on this. As the battle raged on, Earth's forces began to rally. Resistance fighters from all over the planet joined the fray, adding their strength to the growing movement. The message from Dr. Ryder and the vanguard had spread far and wide. Humanity would not be silenced, but not all was as it seemed. Earth's forces continued their assault on the Xeraxians, an unexpected signal was detected. It was a communication from the Galactic Council, sent through a secure channel. Dr. Ryder paused when she saw the message on her screen. It was brief and to the point. We apologize for our earlier decision, the message began. The Galactic Council will now provide full support to Earth. We have reassessed the situation and we realize that we underestimated your strength. We will send reinforcements immediately. Dr. Ryder's expression darkened. This was not a gesture of goodwill. It was a calculated move. The Galactic Council had seen Earth's power, and now they wanted to take credit for it. They wanted to control the narrative. Earth had been betrayed, and now the Council wanted to claim victory alongside humanity. No, Dr. Ryder muttered to herself. We don't need their help. Her team looked to her for guidance, and in that moment she made a decision. Earth didn't need the Galactic Council. They had proven their worth without the Council's help, and now they would finish this battle on their own terms. Send a message to the Council, she commanded. Tell them that Earth does not need their support. If they want to help, they can stay out of our way. Her officers exchanged glances, but no one disagreed. Earth had always been able to rely on its own strength, and now it would continue to do so. As the Xeraxian fleet began to retreat, the vanguard pressed on. The message was clear. Earth was no longer a pawn in the Council's game. Humanity had taken control of its own destiny. But this victory was not without consequence. The Xeraxians were retreating for now, but they would be back. And the Galactic Council, though silent for the moment, would soon realize that their betrayal of Earth would not go unpunished. Dr. Ryder knew that the fight was far from over. But one thing was certain. Earth was not going to back down. Not now. Not ever. This second part builds on the first, showing humanity's rising power and the beginning of their fight against the galaxy's oppressive forces. It also introduces deeper motivations for the Council's betrayal and sets the stage for even more conflict. Let me know if you'd like any adjustments. Oh, Minnie, you said. The sound of the Vanguard's engines reverberated through the command center, a deep hum that resonated with the crew. As Earth's newest weapon soared through space, a sense of determination filled the air. Dr. Elena Ryder stood before the massive viewport, her eyes locked on the approaching battle. They had won their first skirmish, but the war was far from over. The Xeraxian fleet had been crippled, but their leaders were still out there, and they would not forget this defeat. Worse, the Galactic Council, still reeling from the loss of their influence, had not yet made their move. Where's the next target? Dr. Ryder's voice was calm, but there was an edge to it, an urgency that had grown since the battle began. Receiving coordinates now, said Captain Lyra, a seasoned officer who had fought in countless galactic conflicts. Her face was serious as she reviewed the data on her console. There's a council outpost in the Nivara system, near the edge of the Xeraxian territory. If we hit it, we can cripple their supply lines and strike a blow to the council's credibility. Dr. Ryder nodded. The council had long held sway over the galaxy, positioning themselves as guardians of peace. But now, their true nature was beginning to show. Earth was no longer a pawn. They were a force to be reckoned with. Prepare the ship. We're going after them. The Vanguard was a masterpiece of human ingenuity, but it was more than just a vessel. It was a symbol of Earth's defiance. The ship had evolved since its first battle, growing stronger with every skirmish. Its biotech systems were learning, adapting, and becoming more powerful by the day. But Dr. Ryder knew that the real power lay in the unity of Earth's people. It was their drive, their passion, and their refusal to back down that had made this ship and their rebellion possible. As the Vanguard made its way toward the Navara system, Dr. Ryder received an unexpected transmission. The message was from a representative of the Galactic Council. The sender was a familiar voice, Counselor Darren, one of the most influential members of the Council, who had once welcomed Earth into the fold. Dr. Ryder, I hope this message finds you well. Counselor Darren's voice was cold, distant, as if he were speaking from a great distance. I regret the situation we find ourselves in. The Council has reviewed the attack on the Xeraxian fleet and is taking immediate action. We realize now that Earth's future is tied to our collective efforts. We extend our offer of full support in securing your safety and prosperity. Dr. Ryder's face tightened as she listened. The message was too late. The Council's sudden change of heart was nothing more than a desperate attempt to regain control. They had been caught off guard by humanity's resilience, and now they wanted to claim the victory as their own. They hoped that by offering support, they could present themselves as Earth's saviors, erasing the memory of their betrayal. She cut the transmission before Darren could finish speaking. Get me a response ready, she said, her tone sharp. Tell them Earth will accept nothing less than the truth. They betrayed us once. They will not do it again. The Vanguard entered the Navara system. Ahead, the Council outpost loomed like a fortress, a stark reminder of the power the Council had once wielded over countless civilizations. But Earth was no longer afraid. Dr. Ryder's team initiated the attack. As the Vanguard deployed its powerful energy cannons, beams of light sliced through the outpost's defenses. The structure trembled, and the first wave of enemy fighters scrambled to intercept, but they were no match for the might of Earth's weapon. In the chaos of the battle, Dr. Ryder couldn't help but reflect on how far Earth had come. The Council had underestimated humanity's ability to survive and adapt, and now they were paying the price. What had once been a small, struggling planet had become a power in its own right, one that no one could ignore. As the final defense of the Council outpost crumbled, Dr. Ryder received another transmission, this time from a new voice, someone she had never heard before. Dr. Ryder, this is Counselor Vallis. I represent a faction of the Galactic Council that still believes in justice and fairness. The current leadership is corrupt, and we do not condone the actions that led to Earth's betrayal. I know this may be hard to believe, but there are forces within the Council who want to make things right. Dr. Ryder felt a flicker of hope, but she quickly quelled it. She had seen the Council's true face. She had heard enough empty promises. The time for diplomacy was over. Earth would not be manipulated again. If you want to make things right, Dr. Ryder replied, her voice steady and unwavering, then start by ending the corruption in your ranks. Until then, Earth will handle its own destiny. With the Council's outpost in ruins, Dr. Ryder turned her focus back to the larger battle ahead. Earth was no longer alone in its struggle. Other species oppressed by the Council for generations were beginning to rally to Earth's side. The Vanguard's victories had sparked a fire across the galaxy, and now, more than ever, humanity had allies. The Council's hold on the galaxy was weakening, and Earth's rise had become a symbol of rebellion against tyranny. But even as victory seemed within reach, Dr. Ryder knew the battle was far from over. The Xeraxians were regrouping, and there were still those within the Council who would fight to maintain their grip on power. The stakes were higher than ever. In the wake of their attack on the Navara outpost, Earth's message was clear. They would no longer be pawns in the Council's game. The galaxy had made one fatal mistake, underestimating humanity. Now, Earth would show the universe that they were capable of far more than anyone had ever imagined. The Council had betrayed them, but it was the Council that would fall. Part 3 continues the rise of Earth's power, with humanity striking directly at the heart of the Galactic Council's operations. The Council's offers of help are revealed to be self-serving, and Earth solidifies its role as a force to be reckoned with. The story keeps building momentum, setting up the eventual confrontation with the remaining threats. Let me know if you'd like any changes. Omini cool. The galaxy was changing. After Earth's strike on the Navara outpost, fear spread across the Galactic Council. News of the Vanguard and Earth's defiance reached every corner of space. Some species watched in silence, others cheered in secret. Earth, once treated as weak, had become the center of attention, but with attention came danger. Inside the Vanguard, Dr. Elena Ryder studied new reports from distant systems. Resistance movements had started rising across Council-controlled worlds. Small planets long ignored or mistreated were now openly speaking of rebellion. Earth's courage had sparked hope, but it had also created enemies. 3 systems have joined our cause this week, said Captain Lyra, but 2 others were attacked by Council loyalists. Dr. Ryder looked at the screen. The situation was clear. The Council was breaking apart. Some members wanted peace and justice. Others clung to power and control. The galaxy was splitting into 2 sides, those with Earth and those against it. We need to build a true alliance, Ryder said firmly. If we want to end this war, we can't fight alone anymore. With that, Earth sent out a new message. It was not a call for war, but a call for unity. Dr. Ryder offered protection, technology, and partnership to any planet willing to stand up against the Council's control. One by one, systems answered the call. From the icy world of Thalos came the fierce Talari warriors known for their honor. From the desert planet Orin arrived skilled engineers who could build anything from scraps. Even the peaceful Drenari, a species of healers and diplomats, chose to stand with Earth. Together they formed a new alliance, a federation of free worlds. The Council tried to stop it. They sent fleets to block the joining planets, hoping to scare them back into silence. But it was too late. The galaxy had tasted the idea of freedom, and the more the Council tried to fight it, the stronger the Federation grew. Still, danger was everywhere. In a hidden corner of the galaxy, the old powers of the Council were planning a secret attack. Counselor Darren, angry and humiliated by Earth's rise, had formed a secret group called the Core Pact. These were the most loyal and dangerous forces of the Council. They had one goal: crush Earth before the new alliance could grow too strong. One of their leaders was an alien named Vornax, a tall reptilian warrior who had no love for humans. He believed Earth's defiance was a sickness that would spread. He wanted to destroy Vanguard, capture Earth's leaders, and return the galaxy to the Council's control. Dr. Ryder and her crew didn't know the full threat yet, but she could feel something coming. In her private quarters aboard Vanguard, she looked out at the stars, deep in thought. "We've come far," she whispered. "But I can't shake this feeling. The real fight hasn't even started." Her feeling was right. A week later, Vanguard received a distress signal from a distant colony. It was one of Earth's early supporters, a peaceful mining world called Valen. The signal was brief, full of static, but one word stood out clearly: ambush. Captain Lyra reacted instantly. Valen is under attack. If we lose them, others may lose faith. Dr. Ryder didn't hesitate. Plot a course. We leave now. As Vanguard raced toward Valen, the crew prepared for battle. The ship had grown stronger with every fight, and its AI systems were smarter now. It had learned enemy tactics, upgraded its defenses, and developed faster counterattacks. But this time, the enemy was different. When they arrived, the skies above Valen were filled with enemy ships, sleek, black, and silent. The Core Pact had arrived before them. "Shields up!" Lyra shouted. "Incoming fire!" Explosions rocked the ship as Vanguard dove through enemy fire. Its energy beams lit up the dark space, cutting through enemy lines. But the Core Pact was ready. Their ships were fast and coordinated. They moved like hunters, surrounding the Vanguard in a deadly net. Inside the command center, Dr. Ryder stayed calm. "We've been studied," she realized. "They know our tactics." She turned to her AI engineer. "Adapt. Feed them false patterns, then hit them where it hurts." The AI responded immediately. It adjusted weapon targeting, changed movement paths, and created fake signal trails. The enemy ships, confused, broke formation. In that moment, Vanguard struck back hard. Its new plasma cannons, charged by both human and alien tech, blasted through the lead ships. One by one, the enemy vessels exploded. Valen colony is safe, Lyra said, eyes wide. We did it. But Ryder didn't celebrate. She knew what this meant. This wasn't just an attack, she said quietly. This was a test. They were measuring us. That night, as the crew repaired the damage, a final message arrived. From Counselor Darren himself. You're clever, Dr. Ryder, the message said. But cleverness won't save you. Earth's rise ends soon. Dr. Ryder watched the message fade. Her jaw tightened. We'll see, she said. They think Earth is alone, but the galaxy is watching and they're ready to choose. The galaxy had been plunged into uncertainty. Earth's victory against the Council had not gone unnoticed, and the fragile alliance of free worlds was beginning to take shape. But not everyone was ready to accept Earth's rise. The Core Pact, led by the Council's most loyal factions, had made it clear they would stop at nothing to crush the rebellion. Dr. Elena Ryder stood on the bridge of the Vanguard, staring out into the vastness of space. The stars seemed so far away now, but to her they had never felt closer. Earth had proven it could fight back, but she knew the hardest challenge was still ahead. The Core Pact was gathering its forces, preparing for a final strike against the Federation. Earth's allies were strong, but they were still outnumbered. If they couldn't make a decisive move soon, everything they had fought for would be in jeopardy. We've received new intelligence, Captain Lyra said, her voice serious as she approached Dr. Ryder. The Core Pact is mobilizing their entire fleet. They're heading toward the heart of the Federation's new homeworld, Iridun. If they reach it, they could crush everything we've built. Dr. Ryder clenched her fists. The Federation's new homeworld, Iridun, was a symbol of everything they had achieved. It was the place where all the free worlds had gathered to unite under a common banner. Losing Iridun would be a devastating blow to the movement and to humanity's place in the galaxy. We can't let that happen, Dr. Ryder said firmly. We have one chance. We take the fight to them before they reach Iridun. Lyra nodded. I'll gather the fleet. The decision was made quickly. The Federation would launch a surprise attack on the Core Pact's forces, striking them before they could reach Iridun. It was a risky move, but it was the only option. If they could cripple the Core Pact's fleet, they might stand a chance at winning the war. As the Vanguard sped toward the Core Pact's fleet, the crew worked in perfect unison. Every officer, every soldier, and every engineer was prepared to give their all. The ship's AI had been upgraded after every battle, and its biotech systems had evolved, making it stronger and faster. But Dr. Ryder knew that the Vanguard alone would not be enough. Earth's allies would have to fight alongside them. The Federation fleet, now under Earth's leadership, was ready for battle. Their ships were a mix of Earth technology and the resources of their new allies. Talari warships, built for strength and speed, moved in formation alongside Oran engineers. Ships equipped with powerful weaponry. The Drenari had provided their expertise in defense, adding layers of protective energy shields to every ship. Dr. Ryder's mind raced as the fleet prepared to engage the Core Pact. She had always known that the galaxy's future depended on this moment. If Earth failed, everything they had worked for would be lost. But if they succeeded, they would change the balance of power in the galaxy forever. As the two fleets drew closer, Dr. Ryder's voice came over the intercom. All ships prepare for battle. We fight for freedom. We fight for the future. The Federation fleet charged forward with a burst of energy, launching into a fierce battle with the Core Pact's ships. The clash was violent, explosions filling the void of space as lasers and energy beams flew in every direction. Vanguard was at the forefront, leading the charge with its powerful bioenergy cannons, cutting through the Core Pact's defenses like they were nothing. But the Core Pact's fleet was vast and well-coordinated. They were relentless, pushing back with every attack. The Federation ships fought bravely, but the Core Pact had numbers on their side. Dr. Ryder's heart pounded as she watched the battle unfold. It was clear that Earth's forces were outnumbered. They had to act quickly. Target their command ship, Dr. Ryder ordered. If we take down their leader, we take down their will to fight. The Vanguard sped forward, dodging incoming fire and weaving through enemy ships. It was a dangerous maneuver, but Dr. Ryder knew it was the only chance. The command ship of the Core Pact, a massive vessel known as the Oblivion, loomed ahead. It was heavily armored and protected by a ring of smaller ships. But the Vanguard was faster, more agile, and, most importantly, alive. The ship's AI analyzed the incoming threat and found an opening. With a sudden burst of energy, the Vanguard shot forward, dodging enemy fire as it raced toward the Oblivion. The ship's bioenergy cannons powered up, firing a concentrated blast at the Core Pact's command ship. The beam sliced through the Oblivion's shield, sending shockwaves through the hull. The Oblivion shuddered, and for a moment the entire battlefield seemed to pause. The command ship had taken a serious hit. But the Core Pact's forces were not done yet. They rallied, pushing harder, trying to defend their leader's ship with everything they had. "We can't stop now," Lyra shouted. "They're regrouping." Dr. Ryder's gaze hardened. She knew this was the critical moment. If they didn't finish this now, the Core Pact would retaliate with everything they had. "We finish this," she said, her voice filled with resolve. "All ships, concentrate fire on the Oblivion." The Federation fleet united in a final assault. Every ship focused its weapons on the Oblivion, the combined firepower overwhelming the enemy defenses. The Vanguard led the charge, its biotech weapons disintegrating the remaining Core Pact ships. The command ship took one final blast, and then, with a deafening explosion, the Oblivion was destroyed. For a moment, silence fell across the battlefield. The Core Pact's fleet had been shattered. The remaining ships, now leaderless, scattered and fled. "We did it," Lyra said, her voice filled with disbelief. "We've won." But Dr. Ryder knew the battle was not over yet. The Core Pact had been defeated, but their loss would not come without consequences. There would be more challenges ahead. But for the first time in a long while, Earth had proven that it could change the galaxy. As the Federation fleet regrouped and the victory sank in, Dr. Ryder stood at the helm of the Vanguard, looking out at the stars. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Earth's place in the galaxy had been solidified. The galaxy would never be the same again. Part 5 brings the story to a dramatic climax, with a final, decisive battle against the Core Pact. The fate of the Federation and the galaxy hinges on Earth's ability to unite its allies and strike a crushing blow. The tension builds throughout the battle, and the victory sets the stage for the future of humanity and the galaxy. The stars in the sky above Earth had never looked so beautiful. After months of battles, betrayals, and struggles, the Federation of Free Worlds had emerged victorious. The Core Pact, once the heart of the Galactic Council's power, had been shattered. Their fleets lay in ruins, their command ship destroyed, and their will to fight broken. The galaxy was no longer under the oppressive rule of a corrupt council. It was free. Dr. Elena Ryder stood on the bridge of the Vanguard, watching as the Federation fleet returned home. The Vanguard, though scarred from the battle, had proven itself to be the symbol of humanity's rise. The ship, alive and powerful, had led the charge, and now, Earth was no longer just a small, isolated planet. It had become the heart of a new alliance, a beacon of hope for the galaxy. "We did it, Doctor," Captain Lyra said quietly, standing beside her. "We've secured the future." Dr. Ryder nodded, but the weight of the victory wasn't as sweet as she had imagined. There was still much to do. The galaxy was still divided, and while the Core Pact had been defeated, the Council's remaining factions were not going to accept their fall without a fight. They would regroup. They would retaliate. But Earth had shown the galaxy what it was capable of. "The war is over," Dr. Ryder said, her voice firm but thoughtful. "But the real work begins now. We have to rebuild, unite the galaxy, and ensure that what happened to Earth never happens again." The Federation's victory had not come without its sacrifices. Lives had been lost, worlds had been destroyed, and the cost of freedom had been high. But now, the Federation stood strong, and the opportunity for a new beginning had arrived. It was time to heal and to grow. On the surface of Iridun, the new homeworld of the Federation, celebrations erupted. The planet's surface, once a barren and abandoned world, now teemed with life. It had been transformed into a symbol of unity, a place where all the free worlds of the galaxy could come together and build a future of peace and cooperation. Dr. Ryder, along with her closest allies, stood at the heart of the Federation's new capital. Representatives from Talari, Orin, Drenari, and Earth gathered in unity, all watching as the Federation's first council was formed. The ceremony was a moment of history, a time to look ahead, to put aside old grudges, and to work together toward a shared future. "We stand united," Dr. Ryder said, addressing the council as she stood on the steps of the new central hall. "This is not the end of our struggle, but the beginning of something greater. We have shown the galaxy that the power of unity is stronger than any single force. Together, we will build a future that is not defined by power, but by justice, equality, and hope." The crowd cheered, and for the first time in a long time, Dr. Ryder allowed herself a moment of peace. The journey had been long, and the road ahead was still uncertain. But she had faith. Earth, once an isolated and weak world, had become the catalyst for change, and the galaxy was waking up to its potential. "We've changed the galaxy," Lyra said, her voice filled with pride as she stood beside Dr. Ryder. "But there's more to do." Dr. Ryder smiled softly. "There always will be. But for now, we've done what we set out to do. We've built something stronger than the Council ever was. We've given the galaxy hope." But even as Earth and its allies celebrated, there were whispers of something more, a new challenge on the horizon. The defeat of the Core Pact was a victory, but it was only one chapter in the long history of the galaxy. The remnants of the Council were still powerful, and many believed they would try to strike back. The galaxy had always been a place of endless conflict, and peace was often fleeting. Dr. Ryder was well aware of the dangers that still lurked in the shadows. The fight for freedom had been hard won, but the fight for lasting peace would be even harder. New leaders, old alliances, and fresh enemies would rise in the years to come. The work of the Federation was just beginning. "We have to stay vigilant," Dr. Ryder said, looking out across the bustling city of Iridun. "The galaxy is wide, and there will always be forces that will try to divide us. But we have something they don't. We have each other." Lyra stood beside her, looking out at the horizon. "And we'll protect what we've built. Together." Months passed, and the Federation began to take root. Worlds that had once been on the edge of galactic politics were now at the center of decision-making. The Drenari, once healers and diplomats, had become powerful voices for peace. The Talari brought strength, their warriors now guarding the borders of Federation space. The Orin engineers, once solitary on their desert world, had begun to rebuild the infrastructure of planets across the galaxy. And Earth, the heart of the Federation, had grown into a hub of innovation and diplomacy. Dr. Ryder had become the Federation's first president, a title she had never sought but had accepted for the good of the galaxy. She knew that leadership was not about power. It was about service, about ensuring that the future of the galaxy was bright for everyone. Her role was to guide the Federation, but the true power lay in the unity of the worlds they had brought together. The Vanguard, now a symbol of humanity's rise, continued to fly at the forefront of the Federation's efforts. Its crew had become legends in their own right, their stories told across every world. And as the years passed, Earth would always remember the price of its freedom, the sacrifices made, and the unity that had saved them all. Dr. Ryder stood once more on the steps of the central hall in Iridun, looking out at the stars. The galaxy was vast and full of endless possibilities. The Federation was not perfect, but it was something greater than what had come before. It was a new dawn for all worlds. "We've come so far," she whispered to herself. "But this is only the beginning." And with that, the Federation of Free Worlds looked to the future, united under the banner of hope, justice, and the shared belief that together they could overcome any challenge. Part 6 concludes the story with a hopeful tone, focusing on the future of the galaxy and the work still to be done. Earth's victory has transformed the galaxy, and the Federation stands as a beacon of unity and peace. But Dr. Ryder and her allies know that challenges will always exist. The fight for peace is never truly over. Let me know if you'd like any changes or if you have other story ideas in mind.